It's the mastermind behind the mic. Give me what you like, never think about it twice. Coming with the real facts, and that's for real. Along with special guests, you know the deal. Label as the podcast, I stand on it. I'm all about my grind, cause my grind I be on it. That's what it's all about. When you're trying to be successful, you know what I'm saying? The solo show, yeah. All right, back in the building, y'all. That's right, episode 22, the solo show with yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast back at it again. Man, I hope everybody's been having a great week. I've been had some long weeks due to the 9 to 5. I've been burned out, but I'm back in here. I got a special guest in the building. But first, before we bring him on, I got an unveiling coming up a little bit later on in the show. That's right. I know everybody's been wondering when he's going to drop this sneaker, when he's going to bring it out. And it's in the building. So, yeah, this is my first designer sneaker, the JJ3 SKYWALKER by yours truly. Give myself a round of fucking applause. It's in the building, y'all. I will be giving more details on the next one behind that one. Of course, a sneak peek of it. Of the black edition of the JJ3 SKYWALKER a little bit later on in the show. All right, I got a special guest in the building, friend, cousin, handles all my graphics and all my photos and all that shit. My shit be so on fleek because he handles this shit. My man, I'm telling you, he does credit. This guy does a lot. He's a credit repairer. He does a host of other things. And my man, hey, I can't say anything else about him, man. My man, Victor Hayes in the building, y'all. Fix to bring him on. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. What's up? What's going on, cuz? We live and direct, baby. Live and direct.
Sir.
Appreciate your introduction, man.
Oh, man.
Introduction.
Yeah, man. Good to have you on, man. I know we supposed to have been hooking up a little while back. Unfortunately, due to timing and all that shit, you know, that happens. So I'm glad to bring you on, being able to bring you on. So what's been up, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Before I get over into that, cuz I gotta tell you, man, I always say, you know, my motto is iron sharp as iron, and it take one to know one, man. And I just appreciate the relational connection that we have as family. And then on top of that, just the fact to have, when you start talking about breaking generational curses and things of that nature, just knowing that I got fellow family members that's actively making some moves and doing some things and you know, in an upward direction, to be innovative and entrepreneurs, man, I love it. But I got to give my hats off to you just for not only for having me on your show, but just you doing what you do, man. It's very impressive, and it's motivational to me just to know that I got that positive reinforcement in our family bloodline.
That's what's up, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Really. Yes, sir. But without further ado, man, me, just a little bit about me, man. Credit is my thing. Business credit, personal credit, building businesses, developing businesses. You pretty much name it, man. I pretty much am this word serial entrepreneur is kind of been cliche-ish, so I don't want to use that term, but I'm pretty much like a octopus in a sense. I got my hands in a lot of different things, and I always tell people, hey, if you got the wheel, I got the way. Most people are just caught up in this mental fog of not thinking it's a way out of their situation, and it really is. You just need somebody. I'm kind of like a therapist in a sense, because I can pretty much take anybody's situation, man, and create. I can cleanse the mind, and I can create that positive foreground in their finances for them to move forward. or, you know, with their businesses. A lot of people are funding their businesses out of their pocket. I mean, I could go on and on, but really heavy in the trucking industry, and you know, helping people develop their trucking businesses and things of that nature as well. But I'm just a person, man, that my real calling card is not necessarily what I do with credit. It's really just my passion to see my people win. Like that's what I want to do, man.
That's what's
I
up,
love
man.
working with people that's intentional, man. When somebody come to me and say, hey, I got something and I really am passionate about it, I really want to do something about it, I just don't know what to do. I love people like that. Because see, my thing is it make it easier for me to work with somebody that want what they want more than I do. Like I can't want what you want more than you do. So but if you want it, then we can make it happen. I can paint the picture for you, man, and put it in 3D, HD, whatever you need, man. If you need a blueprint, a drafting, I can draft it out of everything, man. Lay it out for you. But the way I got this way, just to go ahead and answer the specific question that you asked, is oftentimes growing up, I come from a well-to-do family. I mean, we was okay. I mean, just regular daddy, blue collar worker. My mom was a homemaker. We did okay, but we kind of were following the same little system that everybody followed, you know. And it's kind of like economically, we put a cap on our success. It's like, so you get to a certain point and this is where you top out at. You get you a good job, go to school, get a good job. That's what you taught. You know what I'm saying? We were taught to stay away from credit cards. Credit cards were the devil, all this type of thing.
I know.
And when I growed up, that's what I thought. But when I got older and I learned this credit thing, man, and it took me bumping my head a lot. It took me going through bankruptcy. It took me going to check cashing places and all of that kind of stuff, man. Robbing Peter to PayPal. I got caught up in that cycle. But that is really what developed me and gave me a firm understanding that, like, why somebody put these systems in place. Somebody created the check advance and cash advances. Somebody created the bankruptcy. Somebody created, but the people that were creating these systems were actually benefiting from them. They were benefiting from them. And I had to learn the other side of the game. And once I did, it made everything that I learned growing up basically, for lack of better words, a bald-faced lie. Like, credit cards are a major game changer if you know how to use them. But you know, that may be another conversation.
A lot of us
a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't, man. They are major game changer, man. Like for real. But yeah, man, grew up right there in Louisville, man. Just went through the same stages everybody did. I think I was in the last generation of people that kind of grew up and knew what it was like to be without a cell phone. And, you know, like before the technology took over, I'm like 79 was when I was born, but like my generation is like literally the last generation that really knew what it was like to pull up to a payphone and and you sitting there waiting. You know, the bag phones and, you know, the pagers, like, we kind of like caught up in that last generation. So now I thank God for that, because the newer generation they oblivious to it.
No.
we were resourceful. Like, well, hey, when somebody left and went up to Rock Island or Chicago or St. Louis, hey, it wasn't no talking on the phone till you got there. You just hope they made it. You got out on the road and deuce in the quarter. You just hope you made it.
Man, we came a long way, man, with technology, man. I'm talking about technology has really changed the game, and it's getting even more advanced. But yeah, like you were just saying, man, during that era, man, I'm glad that I grew up in that era as well, man, because just like you said, man, damn cell phone, man, we ain't know nothing about no fucking cell phones or none of that shit, man. It was strictly the payphone. Motherfucker was trying to scrap
Oh
up
yeah,
change and use the payphone, or waiting on
yeah,
somebody to get off the motherfucker so they could use it next,
yeah, yeah. Cause,
and you be
cause
like,
you remember when you see a cat that would pull up real close to the payphone and have the whole phone in the car.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, you better go on the ride on, cause he gonna be there for a while.
he gonna be there. He gonna be there. Man, motherfuckers been in those situations, man, where you just sit and literally have to try to wait on the motherfucker to get off the phone, man. I mean, man, what if that shit was going on now, man? What if that shit, man, it'd be more murders, I believe, man, because motherfuckers would really get
Absolutely,
mad as fuck.
absolutely.
And it would be fucking chaos, man. Motherfuckers,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably have more payphone murders than anything. Shit. Motherfuckers.
Absolutely. Payphone murder.
Yeah, yeah. Shit.
A payphone
Yeah,
murder.
man.
Keep the chain. Keep the chain.
Yeah. Man, fella, we've came a long way
Yeah.
with technology and all. And back in those days, man, you didn't know shit, man. It was just word of mouth. Some shit happened,
Yeah.
man. If you didn't hear it from somebody, you didn't know shit. You really didn't know a whole lot. Besides the news, and they do that shit now. They only tell what they want you to hear or see.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
And I know a lot of people that don't
Well,
even.
I think it was better that way, cuz. I honestly, I think it was better that way.
Yeah. If I think back sometimes, man, I wish, if I could just go back in those times, man, because to me back then life was so good. It was so
Yeah.
good that the generation of
Yeah.
people was so good. You had mothers and grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers and all, man, that were good people, and they are gone on now. And
Yeah.
back in the day, if you got your ass in trouble at somebody's house, you got an ass whooping there. And then when you got home, it was on again. Now you can't even fucking touch no kid, man. These motherfuckers will lock your ass up, man. And motherfuckers will lock your ass up for whooping your own child's ass, man. But hey,
that's right.
I mean, these kids now, man, they've got it made in a sense, but it's fucked up too. Because the way we was raised up is, man, dude, it was good, but you got your ass whooped if you got out of line. And when no cops or none, there wasn't none of that shit. You was gonna get it. And me myself, I was afraid of ass whoopings, man. You couldn't even say the word ass whooping around me because I was afraid of ass whooping. I try to make you laugh to keep you from whooping my ass.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I tell the fucking joke. I try to make you laugh. That shit only worked for so long. And they're like, no, that shit ain't gonna work this time. You gonna get your ass whooped now. So, but we've came a long way. As you can see, the generations have totally changed, man. You can see that shit. I mean, people aren't even not the same anymore, because of the generations now changed so much. And it's to the point now that you can't even hardly, somebody, you bump into somebody, man, and you say, excuse me, they still want to want to go down with you know what I'm saying? So it's not the same, man. It's not the same at all.
Yeah.
Now,
man, growth.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, growth and development and technology has been really good. It's some key things that are so beneficial, but like just kind of hinging off of the basis of what we were talking about. It's just the problem that I got with technology is that people are so distracted and disenfranchised with one another. Like people then got so far away from the original language of actually talking to one another. And like I remember when it wasn't like right now, a person, if they standing in a line at a grocery store or Walmart or somewhere, everybody got their phone out. Like you like
Right.
it's not interacting and communicating no more. Like people in the community knew a little bit more about each other because you had those face-to-face, one-on-one conversations back then. Like
Right.
now, if you go in a doctor's office, a hospital or something, everybody is in the phone.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you would see somebody reading a magazine, somebody reading a newspaper, people would be talking, they would be communicating. And we've gotten so far from that. So it's like the technology and the phone has become basically it's God. Like the rise in anxiety, people got anxiety problems and stuff like that. You know, when people can't sleep, they go to their phone, you know, or they wake up early, or they whatever the case may be, but they constantly engaging with the phone. And now through this phone, you got people have so much more access to you versus when we came up, it wasn't no cell phone like that. We had a party line, and you know, there's about much entertainment as you could get. You pick up on the party line, man, and you had folks that were true to the game, man. They was like, hey, I don't care who all on here. I'm gonna let Miss such and such know that I got a thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't care who. Yeah, but like, but I remember that. But a lot of folks, that was our version of somebody being on blast back in the day, or the gossip mill.
Yeah,
it was the party line. Yeah.
And just like you were saying about the doctor's offices and shit, man, with the magazines and shit. I rarely see magazines in fucking doctor's offices now. But I've seen them, and like you were just saying, man, I think they just there because nobody's really looking at that shit, man. Everybody's got their cell phone, man. And I'm telling you, I'm so hooked on the fucking phone, man. I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah.
And of course, now you know you can do everything on the phone. You know, you can take care of business and bills and all that shit. And man, I'm hooked. I'm an addict to my cell phone. I'm
yeah.
Motherfucker everywhere.
Let's say my name is Jock Johnson, and I'm an addict to myself.
I'm a fucking addict, man. Shit, I'm like, man, if I could put a pocket on my boxers, goddamn it, for my phone, that's why my phone will be in my fucking boxers, man, because I'm all through the house with that motherfucker. I'm doing everything on my phone, man. And shit's got me fucked up. It's got everybody messed up too, man. Especially the younger generation. So So
and I mean the younger generation, man, if you take a cell phone from somebody, man, dude, you take a cell phone from somebody right now, man, I'm talking about Jekyll will go berserk in 2 seconds.
Yeah, they will go nuts,
I'm
man.
You can go you can go from being what they call a valedictorian to fail a jailbird in 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds. And now with the younger generation too, man, you got to be careful, man. You really can't underestimate anybody. But you know, now there's so much violence and shit going on with teen shootings and all this stuff, man, because you never know, man. I mean, some of the youngest of them, man, have guns. And some of them, man, you know, they just looking for a reason to pull a trigger if need be.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Right.
And
you're absolutely right, cuz.
We didn't, you know, growing up, man, we didn't, you know, used to have the toy guns and all that shit, man, but I really didn't even have none of that shit. I really wasn't pretty much allowed to even, you know, be having no toy guns and shit like that, you know.
Right.
But, you know, now, what is a toy gun? Just what it is, a toy, because nobody play with that shit, man. These kids are getting guns. They're getting their hands on real shit.
They're getting the real deal.
Yeah, you fuck around and try one if you want. Think, oh, that's a cap gun. Wow. You thought it was, motherfucker. You know,
bang, flow.
It's sad, man. It's sad, bro. It's sad, man. That, you know, we live in these times with all these guns and stuff, man, and these teenagers and all, you know, got access to weapons, man. And I'm talking about youngest of them getting them. And my thing, you know, like a lot of these OGs, man, these older cats, man, you know, you think they would try to step up and try to help educate these guys, especially if they done been to prison for years and did time, get out and help try to educate some of these youngsters, man.
Yeah.
And let them know that, hey, this is not the route to go, man. And explain
So
to them what they've been through.
how big of a impact do you think music have on this type of thing?
It's a lot. It's a lot of impact. And since you said that too, man, you've been had a lot of rappers, man. A lot of senseless killings in the rap world. Rappers getting murdered. But a lot of, back to what you were saying with the impact of this music. Yeah, I mean, in our era, yeah, we had the Eazy-E's and all this shit, man. The sagging the pants and all that shit. Even though I never did that, I never sagged my pants. That's just something I just didn't like to do. I feel like if I'm gonna have my pants halfway down my ass, I'm fixing to get ready to take care of some business. I'm fixing to pull some legs out the motherfucker. I'm fixing to pull some legs out of them. It's none of that shit showing my underwear and all that shit. And a lot of motherfuckers, that sagging their pants, fucking underwear dirty and shit, and they trying to sag their pants. But I wasn't the type that wore my pants like that, because I had my aunts and all. They used to tell me, I'm so glad that you don't carry yourself like that. And that just wasn't for me. I just didn't dig that. But you had your Eazy-E's and all that, and gangster rap music. We listen to that. Hell, I still listen to rap music. I'm a hip hop guy. I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But today's generation, man, it just done took a whole turn.
Yeah.
It's taking a whole turn, man, and there's more gun violence and intertwining with these music now too. And some of the things, some of the shit now they using against some of these artists, man, that's being locked up. Some of the lyrics they've been using that shit, that the authorities been using that shit against them for some of the lyrics they have in their tracks. And some of that shit, and that shit's crazy, man.
Don't let your boy Charles the White. Charles the White, he be all on top of it.
Yeah, he be on it, man. That's a whole nother fucking story, man. The guy that loved he's the guy that loved to lay on the pretty white sheets. Pretty white sheets. That shit's funny, man. Dude's funny, man.
Man, yeah. But if you really pay attention to, a lot of people only see him in one direction, and they get aggravated and angry. And I get that side too. But if you really see the point that he's making, it's a underlying root.
Yeah,
he really making the point.
Motherfuckers can't handle the delivery of his shit.
He can't handle it. They just can say, well, hey, you will kill me, but you won't go across the railroad. You won't go over there. Why you want to kill? Why you want to kill me, but you won't go across over there? Yeah. He said, that's where all the nice stuff is. You want to take me out? And he said, that's where all the nice stuff is over there.
Yeah. Man,
say, why you gonna come over here and take me out for a Regal? It's a Rolls Royce over there. Ain't even locked up. It ain't got no the doors.
Man, you think about it. Just like a couple weeks ago, rapper PNB, man.
Yeah.
And cat was murdered, man. Actually, out of South Central Los Angeles, man. He was murdered.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I was reading a little while ago about the suspects that they got in custody. It was like a father and son.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a father and son, and the wife actually was an accessory to this shit. So I was like, man, yeah, I actually just read that shit, man.
His wife was an accessory?
The guy and the sons, the guy's wife that did the shooting.
Yeah.
and his
Oh
son was
wow.
together. Yeah, and I don't know. I hadn't really got deeper into it, but it
Yeah.
actually was on the blog, and I saw that. I started reading a little bit of it, man. I was like, damn. But
Mhm.
man, you out. My thing of it is, you high profile, man. You're a big time artist, man. And that shit didn't have to happen to that man. You know, he was out, with his girlfriend, man. They was out having a meal at Roscoe's out in South Central, man. And
Yeah.
motherfuckers come in and they trying to get his jewelry and shit. They killed him. And my thing with that is, man, if I'm that high profile, that's just me. If I'm that high profile, for one, I'm gonna have so much fucking security, they gonna think the president in that motherfucker. So, from my understanding, he didn't have. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't like he didn't have no security with him, man. He was just out enjoying the meal. But I know there's a lot of more Roscoe's in Los Angeles. you know,
Right.
somewhere in some good areas, man. I mean, motherfuckers can do whatever they want to do anywhere, but I wouldn't have been in South Central, not without heavy
Yeah.
security. And
Yeah.
that shit happened. That was unfortunate, man. It happened like that. And this guy was just only 30 years old, man, and was murdered.
Yeah.
And you see that shit a
Heavy's the
lot, man.
head and wears the crown, cuz. And
Yeah,
when you start developing, when you get the spotlights on you, you get all kind of targets on you. You get the
yeah,
surveillance on you, you get everything on you when you step out there. So
yeah,
you I know a lot of people consider they keeping it real and like, well, hey man, I'm good. We're in this neighborhood. I don't have to have no security and this and that. But the truth of the
no,
matter is, man, when you put a target on yourself,
yeah,
you got to do the necessary things to kind of like whatever come with that territory, you need to have it. Like, you know what I mean? If
yeah, yeah. You do,
you know what I
man.
mean? Like,
You
but I mean,
got
we live in a different world, man. It's a different world, and all this. It don't matter. You could be tough and all this and that on your own, and this and that. You can hold your own, but like
yeah,
that's different. That's different when you're talking about somebody that just you one on one or somebody trying to front on you or something in public. But when you start talking about these people want your life, man, they want to take you out. Like it's a whole nother ball game then.
yeah, yeah. And you got to watch the circle of people around your circle, man. Especially you going back in the hood. Especially you have a lot of rappers and shit, man. That goes back in their hoods and all. It's some motherfuckers you grew up with, man. See you done advanced like you have, and in the spotlight like you are, and got all this money and shit. These motherfuckers envious hell of you, man. I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
if you are boys and shit. The motherfuckers still somebody's gonna be jealous of you, man. I
yeah,
mean, and when you like that, man, yeah, you do what you got to do to try to help your neighborhood, help the hood and shit. Send some money to that motherfucker,
yeah,
and help the hood, man. But as far as going back, hanging in the hood and all that shit with all this damn jewelry on, all this money and shit, man, you got to
yeah,
be careful, man. This motherfucker's
yeah.
jealous of you, dude. They
Hmm.
jealous, man. So me personally, no, I couldn't do that shit. Not without heavy security with me.
Yeah,
If it came down to it, I just couldn't. I couldn't be out there like that, man.
yeah,
A large percentage of rappers die in their hoods, man.
yeah,
Thinking everybody is legit, but motherfuckers, man, be hating bad.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I couldn't do it. I just hate that shit happen, man. Guy was
yeah.
still
I
young.
do
That
too,
guy was
bro.
just 30 years. Yeah, he was just 30 years old, man.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and, the- and the
That
list
story,
goes
like
on.
so many others, man. Yeah,
Yeah, the list goes on of rappers, man,
yeah,
that have died, man, gunshot, being shot,
yeah,
killed, and you
yeah,
hate to see that shit. And I'm gonna tell you, man, another thing too, man. A couple days ago, man, I was blown away by Coolio, man. I was blown away by Coolio's death, man. He
yeah,
passed away a couple days ago, and man, I was blown away with that, man. This guy, that song where he had got like 1 billion streams a little while back from the Gangster Paradise track. That's how many
Oh
streams
wow,
he got. Yeah, this guy, man.
wow,
From what I've heard and read a little bit. He was at a friend's house and he went to the bathroom and never came back out. And I think it was from a apparent heart attack. So they still doing, do the autopsy and all, come and have a final report on it. So
right,
I hate that,
right, right,
man.
right.
I was blown away by that
Oh
shit,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. I
I
mean,
had to
especially,
go,
I mean,
I had to go back and listen to the track, man. Shit. Gangster's Paradise, man. I had to
oh
go
yeah.
back and listen to it, man.
I mean, it's been a
Man.
heavy rotation too, I mean, quite naturally, I mean, after his passing, it's been a heavy rotation. So yeah. And I mean, when I
Yeah.
listen to it, it takes me back,
Back, yeah.
it takes me back to that era, like when,
Yeah.
what I mean, because we didn't have so much other music and stuff to come along, but when you hear that track and now you thinking about, this guy has lost his life or whatever, even if a heart attack or whatever the case may be, but like,
Yeah.
it's just that song is like a classic, you know what I'm saying?
It is. It
It's a
is.
classic. Yeah.
That shit is a classic when everybody plays it. I'm talking about
Yeah.
everybody, all races shit. I mean, that shit
Yeah.
was a hot ass track, and it still is a hot track, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that, man. But you have to try to enjoy every day like it's your last, man, because you don't never know. I don't like talking about that shit. I don't like talking about death because I feel like I got a lot to live for, man. I got a
Yeah.
lot more life in me. And
Yeah.
you try to enjoy every minute, every hour, every day, like it's your last, because you don't know. And that there prime example, man, you don't never know. Because I also read that they seen in the days prior to that, man, he was in good health and good spirits and stuff, man. So
Yeah. Well, that's like my boy Kevin Samuels, man. Same thing, man.
yeah,
Same thing. Yeah.
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to enjoy every moment with my family and everybody, man, and chopping it up with my cuz here. Man, I
Yes,
try to
sir. We
enjoy
got to,
it.
bro.
Yeah, enjoy every moment, man. Because you don't never know. You never know. All right. So I know back in the day, I'm gonna bring this shit up. Back in the day, there's been some years now. You and I were good friend, Kenneth Jackson, Wonder Boy. used to do
Oh
the
yeah.
clothes, used to do the clothes and shit, man. Y'all used to have the man,
Norvea.
yeah, right. Yeah. Man, that shit was hot, man.
I mean,
That shit was hot.
you just said it. You said it with a French accent.
Yeah, I'm a Frenchman. I'm a
Yeah,
black Frenchman.
yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
man, look, I know I went back, but how did that shit start, man? I mean, I know you was much younger then. Both of you guys were,
Yeah.
but that shit was hot. It was
Yeah,
hot. Nah, I never
man.
did.
Yeah.
I never did get a chance to get a piece of the merchandise. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna ask
yeah,
you
yeah.
here on the set. Do you still have any of that? Any
Absolutely,
of the
yeah. So
items?
we still the customer base that we have. I mean, they still purchase it. So Kenny,
Oh,
he still makes it, manufactures that. Um, and we had a two brands. So we had Norvea, which was the male line. Um,
yeah.
our slogan was "It's your world, wear it." And it's still our slogan. It's trademark. So if anybody wants, "It's your world, wear it." So
Yeah.
if you want to give me some give me a little change, go ahead and use it. But we had a sister line called Forbidden Fruit. Forbidden Fruit was our female line of clothing,
I
and that slogan
remember
was
that.
"Preserve Your Sexy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Um, and both of those, we was doing both of them at one time. And Kenneth was more. I was doing designing on both of them, and he was too. But I was more or less kind of like handling the designing and branding of the businesses, and man, both were highly successful. And I mean, they will still be highly successful right now. It's just that life took over, and sometimes, you know, you just sometimes you just put things that's important, you just kind of have to push them to the back because of, and I'm not even gonna try to justify that, because it's still a lot of money that could be made, and we've had several offers to even buy both of those brands. There was a very, very well-known adult gentleman's club owner in Texas that wanted to buy Forbidden Fruit, and he wanted to market that as his leading brand for his dancers. So but we at the time, we didn't have no know-how, no attorneys, or nobody to advise us on what to do with that. So we didn't follow through with it. But we could have had a pretty good payday if we had followed through with it.
Shit was hot, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it, cuz. But yeah, I mean, it's still in effect, and it's still and we are actually I mean, it's ironic that you mentioned it, that just the fact that you were saying, hey, it was hot, this and that, we were aware of that, and we actually are working a relaunch right now for both brands, to get it back out there, man, and feed the market.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Y'all guys, man, y'all was on that shit, man. I mean, y'all was really on it back in the day. And man, I would like to have one of those teas, man. I'd like to have
all right. Too easy. Too easy.
I would like to have. No,
too easy. Yeah. So Norvea, man, it was sort of before its time, and that's why I know it still would do really well right now, because basically what I understood about brand awareness way back then was, like, my mind always thought ahead of whatever the trend was. I always thought that way. So even with my designing and stuff, I always believe in making a statement without making a statement. Or you take things that people identify with, and you create a statement around things that people already identify, and you give that, and you basically can rebrand something that already exists by just basically putting by basically defining an example that already exists. But yeah, I'm glad you asked about that, cuz. But yeah, we actually about to bring it back out, so we'll have some merchandise and all that stuff rolling back here again. Like I said, we still making it, but it's more or less in small batches right now. Yeah.
Okay. Man, look, I'm so glad that you actually put your name up here, because motherfuckers that's tuning in or will be tuning in, they will actually probably think you was Al B. Sure.
Yeah, and they gonna think that you got Jeezy over there. So Al B. Sure, man. I get Terrence Howard more than anything. Terrence Howard.
Since you said that, yeah. Man, you need to hit that voice,
Come
man.
On, man. Come on, Skinny, man. Come on, man. Come on. Hey, Skinny Black did him bad on that. Come on, tell me.
Man, since you said that shit, man, you do.
Hey, cuz, you sit here, you calling me a dog. Like I said, man, I said, good, cuz look just like Jesus sitting over there, man. Oh boy, Snowman.
That's him, man.
Oh man,
if I can have the money that motherfucker got, man. Shit.
Oh yeah.
Man, hell yeah, I'll be him all day, shit.
Hey, you already got it, cuz, but until then, just gonna get you a boatload of that prop money.
Yeah.
Prop money.
My brother.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Plug everybody in where they can find you, man, on social media. Give them the plug on how to find you, man.
Yeah. So I'm Victor Hayes on Facebook. Financial literacy advocate. If you got the will, I got the way. I can fix anything but a broken heart. Um, uh, Instagram is CMF Solutions. CMF Credit Mechanic. Well, I'm gonna break it down. It's CMF underscore Solutions, which stands for Credit Mechanic Financial Solutions. And then you can reach me through my website, which is CMFSolutions365.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, but if you find me on Facebook, you're gonna find me everywhere else. So um, I want to create a culture, man, where people understand that there's not any reason for you to stay in your same situation. We the biggest consumers, but we the biggest consumers, but we the ones that as a culture, as a race, we have the least to show for it. You know, on when you consider what we bring to the overall culture, we just it just don't add up. So there's nothing too hard. You just some people need some people need actual restructuring of their credit. Other people just need a credit strategy. But you know what I'm saying? Reach out, however, and I can get you to your end goal in less time than you expect.
That's what's up.
But I think thanks again for having me, cuz I do appreciate, man, this for whatever it's worth, even, you know, beyond just the audience or whatever that will take a look at this podcast. I just appreciate, man, sharing this time, bro, because hey, at the end of the day, years from now, that's what I'm thinking about. Our kids go back and, you know, and review this thing. So yeah, that's we immortalizing ourselves basically. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Bro, I appreciate you, dude, coming on. Terrence, right? Terrence.
Terrence. There you go. Now, DJ. Yeah. So,
all right, man. I appreciate you coming on, cuz. Catch you on the next one. Man. All right, Dan.
Absolutely, man. Thanks again. Have a good night, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, y'all. My man, my fam, Victor Hayes, man, in the building. Enjoy chopping it up with him. All right, coming up after the break, fixing to take a quick 30-second break. Yeah, we're going to talk about the sneaker. Yeah. Back in 30 seconds. All right, we're back with more of the podcast solo show. As I was saying earlier in the show, I wanted to do an unveiling of. Damn, I got smoke stills in here. Talk about my sneaker, my new design. By the way, it's with Alive shoes. I will be putting up the link in just a second, so you guys can go on and check it out. Screenshot it, write it down. Hey, check out the link. Go on my dashboard at Alive Shoes and check out my sneakers. All right, so I got the box. Let me pull this shit up. See if I can pull this shit up here. This is the box it came in. I already opened it. You know, I was excited as fuck about it. See if I can get it pulled out here. I don't want to knock shit over. Bear with me for a second. It's coming out, y'all. All right, y'all. This is the box. By the way, I know it's turned the other way, the wrong way, but this is what I got on there. This is my box. This is my logo on the box of the Skywalker. This is the first Skywalker that I've designed. I actually got another one. I hadn't released it yet, but it will be available real soon. Definitely trying to put this one out first. But man, you can still smell the freshness and the newness on this shit, man. So I'm gonna take one of them. Actually, I'm gonna take both of them out the box. And the box is real, man. This was a good ass box. I'm talking about this shit is, oh man. I got paper everywhere, y'all. Y'all bear with me. I'm dropping shit. But this is the box. This was the box here. This is the box that come in, my own designer box. I think I did well for the first time. Had to get in contact with the company. Actually, this shoe, I wanted it in suede, in the with the tongue and all. Pulling it out of plastic. And this is it. This is it. This is patent leather. I got the zebra stripes. This is real deal shit, man. This is some good shit. And there you have it. This is the first one. Got the gold soles, the bottoms, and got the gold tongue and all. I actually call it the guts. This is the middle of it, so I got the gold guts. This shoe actually came with gold shoestrings. Actually, I picked the gold shoestrings out. I'm gonna pull one of them out, but this is the shoestrings, the gold ones. So I changed it black. You know, I'm a black freak. I think the black really takes slows the gold from showing so much because they are a bright gold. But it tones it down quite a bit, and I prefer the black shoestrings in them. But I got the white eyelets. I didn't change those up. But man, this is a comfortable sneaker. You see the logo. There it is right there. That's the logo. Yeah, my first designer sneaker, man. Finally got it in. It's comfortable. I think I made a great pick on the shoe. I wanted something like this because see, I rock Chuck Taylors a lot. I'm a Chuck Taylor freak, and I wanted something similar to Chuck Taylor. And this is good as you get right here, man. This is awesome. This is a designer sneaker. Uh, it's not no everyday wear for me. I mean, I know a lot of people that decide if they want to go ahead and purchase them. Um, these sneakers, man, are good for uh, occasions like going out, hanging out. I wouldn't prefer it to be no everyday shoe, but you can do it. Um, but I rock this with a nice fit. Guys out there with the skinny leg jeans and the joggers and shit because I like to rock the joggers and shit, man. And of course the boot cut jeans. I don't like the real skinny leg shit, so I rock kind of like a boot cut where the kind of my pants, my jeans will be sitting over this shoe. But yeah, this is it. I'm gonna bring the other one out. I'm gonna take the other one out of the plastic. This shit down. And here you have it. This is it, man. This is the first JJ3 SKYWALKER. Yeah, by yours truly, the mastermind, the podcast Jock Johnson. This is it, y'all. Man, the newness. Man, I'm talking about fresh, straight out of the fucking box. Dope. I think I made a great decision on it. But I did contact the company. I hadn't heard back from them yet. They normally get back real fast. But I actually hit them up, and I wanted to change the design on the middle section of the shoe with the tongue and all to a suede, Italian suede and gold. So I'm looking to hear back from them. This shoe is available at Alive Shoes on my dashboard. So I'm gonna pull up the link here. This is the link. So screenshot it, write it down. I'm gonna leave it up for a split second and continue to talk about the shoe. But yeah, check them out. Check them out. I think I made a great Great decision on this one. But I am going back to try to make that change with the suede for the tongue and all. So yeah. So check them out. Go on the site, check them out. This is the link. Go on to liveshoes.com. And anybody can actually do their own designer shoes, man. You spend a little money here and there, but you know, it's worth it, especially if you're trying to put your brand out there. So yeah. All right, I got another one. I'm not going to release it yet, but I am going to give you a view of it. The black edition of the Skywalker. This is the black edition Skywalker in croc. Of course, just like the first one, the tongue and all is in croc. But this one is going to be going to have the croc pattern in suede. This is an all suede sneaker. Got the silver bottom, the sole. It's going to be a dope shoe, man. I can't wait to release that one, but I'm not going to do it just yet because right now my emphasis is on the first one. But it is it's been approved, so it'll be out real soon. So I'll be giving you details on that one as time goes on. All right, man, it's been a great show. I want to thank my cousin again, man, for coming on, man. Y'all check him out. Very good guy, man. Very good guy. All right, for any guests that want to be a part of the Jock Johnson podcast, the solo show, or have any questions or comments, hit me up on IG at the Real Jock Johnson. Also, check me out on my Twitter page at the Jock Johnson Podcast LLC. Man, check me out on YouTube at my YouTube channel, the Jock Johnson Podcast LLC. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, check me out at 216 The Blend, Cleveland, Ohio, live 365 radio starting on Tuesday night at midnight, again at 9 a.m., and then again at 9 p.m. Eastern. So check me out there. And also, you can hit me up in my email at jockjpodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Love to get you on the show. All right, that's about going to wrap it up for yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast Unc. Always remember, do what you love what you do. I'm out, y'all.